What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we have an account review coaching takeover session for the Glizzy Gladiator himself. So first things first, we're going to go over the sheet that I make up for all these account takeovers and just kind of a rough overview, kind of like a overall picture of the account before we jump into it and talk about the finer details. So let me move myself over to the other side of the screen real quick. Let me show you my screen, and bada bing, bada boom. Completely white screen, basically. I wish I could change Excel or Google Sheets to black because white is not great on the eyes. But either way, this is his sheet, like a little snapshot in time of his sheet. Let me go ahead and make this a full screen so you can see it a little bit better. Here we go. From the top, basically account information, very basic stuff here. And then we have the current dungeon times, which I'm going to try to do a dungeon build during this video. So hopefully that works out pretty well. Next up, the Faction Wars. Currently, pretty early account. I mean, you could see it from the previous screen, level 62. So pretty early game account currently. Early/mid game, because surprisingly, this account already has Arbiter, which I was kind of shocked about, which is pretty cool. Definitely pretty cool. So as far as the arena, we're currently in Gold 2, which I think we can definitely push up higher. His very fastest champion possible, the peak speed, would be 269 speed, which I believe is for his Arbiter, who is level 50 currently. Once she's taken to 60 and 6-star, unlocks the banner, plus some probably more base speed, she can probably get closer to 280. 3v3, maybe even 290, pushing 300. I'm not really sure what kind of banners he has. But 3v3 tier, Bronze 3. Not a huge deal. 3v3 at this point in the game is not really a huge focus because it's a disaster as it is. 3v3 takes a very long time to actually progress in. But Great Hall level 46. I'm going to show you guys all that once we get into the account. Like I said, this is just a little bit of a snapshot. The Demon Lord Clan Boss, Ultra Nightmare, 3 keys, which there's a few small tweaks you can make to go ahead and bump this up to hopefully 2 keys. I believe it's 3 key, it may be 4 key, but either way, we definitely want to get that down to 2, possibly 3 key, and then Nightmare 1 key ideally, so then you can use all 4 of your keys per day and get the top chest on Ultra Nightmare as well as Nightmare in 2 of them. Hydra, kind of irrelevant right now. We're working on it. It's gonna be normal 4 key, which there's not even 4 keys of Hydra, so I'm not even sure how it's working, but it'd be 3 key, okay? So currently, he's not even reaching top chest, which can be adjusted in the future, but very few level 60s on the account. I mean, you can see it up here. We have 18 rank 6 champions. So this is a very, very fresh account and making pretty good progress, like I said, for how new this account is. Doom Tower, not fully cleared on all 3 rotations. There is 1 rotation that's fully cleared. That is a rotation wherever you get this avatar. I don't really know which one that is. The Frost Spider, maybe? Kind of looks like a Frost Spider chick. But either way, continuing on, the farming the bosses doesn't really apply here because there's no bosses really to farm, considering he's just doing normal and none of the bosses farming that normal difficulty. You can get very low ranking gear anyways. If you got time to do it, great. If not a huge focus. Much better things to invest your time on right now. Free keys though, if you want to use them, go ahead and use them. Currently got Archmage Helmet, which definitely do all the secret rooms you can. Archmage is amazing. Akoth is great. Rian is very solid as well, especially if you don't have Madame Serres. And then Dark Kel is fantastic. After that, they kind of just fall off. Dark Kel's tremendous. And then Gwyneth, Taya, these other ones, you're not going to use them nearly as much as these first 4 champions. And then on hard mode, good when you can get there, but until then, not a huge deal. I got a bunch of notes down here for him as well, which I'll be going over in just a minute. Next up is the gear. You may have an account, pretty similar situation. Also, if you're interested in having an account takeover done for you, click the link down below, get signed up, you can message me on Discord, and we can move on from there. But like I said, if you're interested in it, click the link down below. If not, just use this video and maybe help you out with your account as well. That's the goal with these videos. So artifacts, 716 unequipped pieces, 465 equipped. We have quite a bit of 5-star pieces currently, less 6 stars, so obvious we want to get a lot more 6-star. Not so many 5 stars, not necessarily selling the 5 stars we have, but more so, changing the ratios. A lot more 6-star, fewer 5 stars, but either way, our champions are geared with very high quality gear ultimately, and then getting rid of all the 4-star pieces as soon as possible, because even on your Faction War champions who can do well with those 5-star pieces, those 5-star HP percentage chest plates, 5-star HP defense percentage gloves, 5-star speed boots, those are going to do fine. But 4-star, you're really going to move past that basically when you start your account. Like 4-star pieces of gear shouldn't stay around very long whatsoever. The accessories. We got a little bit of a problem here. We got very few accessories. Granted, he doesn't have a ton of 6-star champions who can really use the accessories, but this is an area that I want to focus on. So we currently have 305 5-star. Basically, all the pieces are 5-star. Really want to switch this to whoa. whoa, we really want to switch that to 6-star pieces. As soon as possible, we're going to be getting more 6-star pieces, necklaces, rings, banners, tons more silver. It's going to be a great situation in general. So with that said, that is where I'll focus the dungeon priority. So with this account, I've actually prioritized Dragon pretty high. A lot of times with accounts, especially, well, specifically with accounts that have Lydia, I don't prioritize Dragon very highly, because if you have Lydia, you're probably farming stage 20, stage 21 on all the faction war stuff, and you're getting tons of perception gear to be forged. And when you're doing Dragon, the main thing you're going for is going to be speed gear. Accuracy, there's other nice sets throughout, but the main thing is going to be the speed gear. Well, if you're getting perception gear, you're farming it in the forge, essentially, farming it from faction wars, you're going to have plenty of very good pieces. You probably got plenty of very good speed pieces anyways throughout your times of farming. So outside of like the 3x events, 3x speed drops, I don't really farm Dragon much. I don't really recommend it most of the time either, because the other dungeons become more important. But for where this account's currently at, Dragon is the highest ranking artifact dungeon in my opinion, except for Spider. Spider is an accessory dungeon, and you're gonna get tons of silver. You're gonna get tons of very good accessories because he can do very high stages of Spider. So Spider, very important, drop a ton of energy there. Dragon, the next most important. Fire Knight, because of Savage gear, because of regeneration, because of all the amazing sets in Fire Knight. Stun gear for your general faction war progression. Fire Knight, super, super helpful. And then Ice Golem is worth doing, especially if there's like any boosted chances for Reflex, Cursed, and Provoke. All these sets are fantastic. Even Retaliation is good. But at the moment, I think you're going to get a lot more benefit from focused Dragon, Spider, and some Fire Knight. As far as these two dungeons over here, don't do it. Basically, you're making something like that's not really that good anyways. You're making it a little bit less not good. Taking a 4-star piece of gear and using oil to ascend it is not really worth doing, right? Like if we go in here, actually, I've never done that ever. And I don't recommend anybody doing it either. But out of curiosity, can you even do it? I guess you could, yeah, 30. And the Ascension bonus, I don't know what it's going to be. And honestly, I don't think you should know what it's going to be either. Just don't do that. Do not awaken your 4-star pieces of gear. Just sell them. They shouldn't be on your account very long whatsoever. So moving on to what's next in this account is the overall suggestion. So I have some more gear suggestions for him there. But I want to talk to you guys about where his account is currently at a little bit more, showing you guys the account itself, and then go through what I recommend, and then we're going to build a team, possibly 2 for him as well. I don't always do this, but the account takeovers, the account reviews that I do for a video, I do try to give a little bit extra value in case some of you guys can find benefit in that. So the events, like I said, we do have Arbiter currently, so he's doing very good as far as the mission progression, which, like I said, I've said this before, mission progression is crucial when you're first starting out in the game. So important. So missions, always, actually not when you're first starting out, whenever you're going through the game period. This is like your guide. Follow the missions. This is going to tell you exactly where to go, everything. If you're ever lost, confused, do the missions. Super easy, super simple. Well, super simple. Not necessarily super easy as you get further along. But there we go. Great Hall is what's next. I want to start focusing more on Arena for him because this is okay. But getting more accuracy, more resistance especially, is going to make your gearing more crit damage. It's going to make your gearing for your champions so much better. And you can make some very simple teams. You're currently in Gold 2, Classic Arena. Come in here. I'll show you the team. You have Arbiter. Arbiter can definitely be used. You don't need a booker. She's worth the books. She's a great champion to have booked in the future. But right now, you got some higher priority booking champions. So a simple team would be Arbiter, Seeker. Throw in a Rhonda for damage. And then a decreased defense champion somewhere else. I mean, we have a War Maiden, we have a Sishia, who can also play some great debuffs, but that's a legendary champion. War Maiden's a champion who you're probably not going to use very long. A champion who you will be taking to 60, most likely pretty soon, who he's already invested some books into, is Stag Knight. Now, I don't know if there's a Madame Ceres in the account. There may be. Once he gets Rian the Conjurer, excellent champion to throw in here, but this is just a super simple team that's going to be pretty solid to speed farm team. Just have Arbiter go fast boost, Seeker going next, and then Rhonda just coming in, hopefully wiping everybody out. Rhonda works great. Gimba works great. You could use Gaius if you wanted. Really just any good damage dealing champion, potentially Tormund. I'm not going to be talking a ton about legendary champions to invest in because I believe this account is very low spending, possibly free to play. Either way, it doesn't matter even if you're a whale. Legendary books are hard to come by. And currently, there are not a ton of legendary books on this account. Speaking of legendary books, the next champion who I would recommend booking out is Artak. So that's going to be my first point. I have a list of some points to make. Let's move this over here. But Artak, He is incredible. He is an amazing champion who is definitely worth the books. This champion will take you in Dragon, Ice Golem, Spider, Hydra, from early to mid game to in-game content. Like, that is how good this champion is. Artak is an absolutely amazing champion, 100% worth the books, and will just dominate all those different areas. So if you have an Artak and you've been putting him off to the side a little bit, definitely book him. Definitely invest in his masteries. He is 100% worth it, and I 100% recommend Glizzy Glad to invest into his Artak. So finish him out completely, max him out. He is going to do so good for you. The next thing is getting more champions for your clan boss team into revenge accessories and getting them actually finished out leveling. So looking at his clan boss team, this may be jumping around a little bit, but very important area of progression is your clan boss. Like I mentioned before, though, he is doing decent in clan boss. He has a team doing Ultra Nightmare and Nightmare. So he's getting, hopefully, top chest each day, getting the good rewards. Could be in less keys, but for now, we're going to work on getting some better gear in the account and then move on to actually getting higher damage in clan boss, making it more 100% auto, so on and so forth. But this team right here, we have Roshcard, who is level 50 currently. Taking him to 6-star is going to unlock the banner slot, allowing you to make a little bit easier gear requirements, maybe get some speed on him. You are going to have to adjust the speed tune, of course, but even more important than the banner slot, you are unlocking a tier 6 mastery, which is going to allow you then to actually get War Master, which is going to add a ton of damage into your overall key damage. Plus, Roshcard is not really going to be used for a ton else necessarily. I mean, you can use him in Arena. He is a very solid champion, but your Roshcard already has a decent amount of accuracy. You have Frozen Banshee in the lead spot. You unlock the 6-star banner spot. Well, guess what? Throw on an accuracy banner after farming Spider. Throw on an accuracy banner. Switch Cruelty to Brimstone. And then put Cruelty on your Farrakhan. Or, I wouldn't say on Pythion necessarily, because Pythion doesn't have accuracy. You're not building for accuracy. He's not landing Brimstone. But Roshcard could. He's very close to being able to do so. So get Roshcard into Brimstone, get him to 6-star, get him with War Master, and your clan boss damage is going to go up quite a bit just from that. But next is any champion who you can do it with. Throw on Revenge Accessories. Revenge Accessories, especially in a block damage team like this, is going to allow you to actually counterattack because you have really no other counterattack sources. Maybe if a stun lands every now and then you have a counterattack, but you have Pythion with block debuff, so it's probably not happening too frequently. So getting Revenge Accessories, coming in here to your clan shop, picking up these accessories right here, you're already doing it, but getting them equipped onto your champions is going to allow you to do, well, each turn possibly extra War Master hits, getting you closer to that 2-key, maybe 3-key Ultra Nightmare, 1-key Nightmare damage. So getting that stuff finished out in your clan boss is going to make a world of difference. Really, anybody who is, well, taking anything serious really whatsoever, buy your Revenge Accessories in the shop. That is the one thing I prioritize. It is so helpful in so many different areas of the game. It adds, it's nice, guys. Just trust me, do it. I use it in the arena, I use it in clan boss, I use it in Hydra, I use them all over my account, and the best time to start buying them is yesterday, and the next best time is today. Next up, let's talk about some future 6-star champions. So a champion who I think is incredible for him to take to 6-star very soon is going to be Stagnite. Stagnite brings so much, but even outside of what he brings, he's already invested into Stagnite somewhat. Now, Stagnite's a champion who could be left at 5-star for a long time. He has decent base stats. He's a support champion, so he doesn't have to have good survivability plus good damage and all that kind of stuff. He's a support champion, and I like leaving support champions at 5-star for as long as possible. But Stagnite is somebody who you're going to use for a long time. You're going to use into high-level content, and I think he is worth getting a 6-star. Getting War Master on him, getting him into your Hydra setups, an AoE, decrease attack, and decrease defense on a 3-turn cooldown is incredible. Plus an A1 ability with a decreased speed, excellent for things like Spider, which we're going to be jumping into in just a minute. And the passive is just a nice little extra, nice little add-on. But Stagnite is somebody who you're going to be using into the in-game as well. Even on things like Dark Fae, once you get there, you're likely going to be using him. Stagnite's a champion who you will be using for a very long time. So definitely worth a potential 6-star. And unlike champions like Wukong, definitely worth taking a 6-star. Champions like Molly, amazing for Hydra, definitely worth taking to 6-star as well. And then a few others, they're all worth taking to 6-star. Torment, he has some excellent legendary champions. But Snick Track, incredible. However, you only got so many legendary books, and unfortunately, they're very hard to come by. So right now, getting some good epics up to 60 is going to be super helpful. We have Stagnite, we have Seeker. Seeker is going to be moving into your Demitha clan boss team, your Demitha, Eris, Seeker, possibly Warcaster teams like that, they're going to get you closer to that 1 key Ultra Nightmare clan boss team. Seeker is going to be crucial for those. Definitely, all these are worth potential 6 stars, but for me, when I'm looking at it, is damage dealers get a little bit of priority in 6-star, especially when I don't have a damage dealer, because damage dealers have to be doing good damage. They have to be staying alive. They have a lot more stats to prioritize, and a 5-star Genbo versus a 6-star Genbo, that's a massive difference. So damage dealers sometimes cut ahead as far as my 6-star priorities, but then it's like, okay, what champion's going to fill the most roles in the most spots in the game? So Stagnite, he's going to be going into Dragon. He's going to go into Ice Golem. He's going to be going into Hydra, possibly the Arena. He's going to be going to so many areas. Faction Wars, absolutely incredible for his faction. So Stagnite, definitely a very solid potential next 60. Next thing I want to talk about is some actual dungeon building. So currently, we're 16 minutes into the video. Hopefully you guys are enjoying it. If you are, drop a like, subscribe to the channel. I'm going to try not to talk too fast. But Dragon, he is currently doing a mind-numbingly slow stage 25. Hasn't done it recently. Hasn't done any of these recently because they have no turn counts on them. His stage 20 is what he's farming. Now, I'm going to try to make some magic happen. Stage 1 is better than stage 25. We're not going to do stage 25. It doesn't need to do stage 25. Stage 1 is what we're going to do. We're going to delete the preset up here. For Dragon, what you're going to want to look for is poison. Poison, poison, poison for the Dragon. Before the Dragon, what you're looking for is sustainability, decreased defense, AoE decreased attack. Those are the main things you're looking for. So let's go ahead and build a team for him. So I built the RTAC. I tried him out on 24 normal. It went well. However, the issue we had was that the Luria on wave 2 was actually block reviving the Frozen Banshee. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try out Demitha and the team with RTAC on stage 1 of hard mode, because stage 1 doesn't have those annoying cleansers on the first wave and the second wave. On the second wave here, we do have a Cult Brawler who can block revive on Frozen Banshee, which is terrible. So we definitely don't want that to happen. The best option possibly is Demitha to place block damage, keep her alive, but to be honest, it's going to be very difficult to prevent that from happening. What I do want though, actually I could bring in a Geomancer in here instead, and he will, he could potentially help out. I could manual through the second wave and get him to stage 2 of hard mode, so that way we can actually, you know, maybe make some good progression, because stage 2, I forget what it has actually, but it may not have any cleansers, may not have no block damage, but those 2 things are going to be pretty annoying. So let's actually do that. I'm going to manual through this second wave, get him to stage 2 of hard, and see if we can make that his new consistent farm team. All right, manual through the waves. Let's see if we can actually finish the Dragon off here. We're really going to need a miracle, basically. Decreased attack. There we go. Excellent. Got the decreased attack applied, but he does have increased attack now. So now it's really just, hey, Frozen Banshee, you better keep a ton of poisons up on this thing, or yeah, we're going to die. That's really the only 2 options that we have. Tons of poisons or death. Not a whole lot in between. So we're going to manual this. Get some manual action going here. Decreased attack, possibly. There we go. Excellent. Got the decreased attack. Now we're going to get some poison sensitivity applied, hopefully, so Frozen Banshee can continue placing that A2. There we go. No debuffs applied. Sweet. The A2. Boom. Double poisons. Boom, boom. 7 minutes of manual action. That's what it takes. You know, you gotta do what you gotta do what you gotta do. Decreased attack, back applied. Fantastic. He does have decreased attack though. Pythion has a cleanse, so we're gonna go ahead and pop that. Boom. Got a good heal, good cleanse. Dragon's not gonna be too much of a problem. Once we get there, it's gonna be okay. But I mean, it's just getting to that point. Getting to the Dragon. The Steel Skulls were a nightmare to deal with, honestly. They were terrible. They kept healing. They kept cleansing. Very bad. Very bad stuff. Dragon got his breath off. Not a huge deal, I don't think, there. We should be fine. Double hit. Got poison sensitivity still applied. Burns from RTAC. Super inconsistent because he, yeah, he's not fully booked. So what can you expect, right? Frozen Banshee, boom, double hit on the poisons. Get some more going. Hopefully, stage 2 hard is going to be a little bit better. There we go. Stage 1 done. 8 minutes and 14 seconds. Doesn't matter, though. Stage 2. Let's see if it's any easier. So, guys, I did stage 2. Got to wave 2 and realized they have Earl Grims. They have heals. We can't have that. I'm back now. I had to walk away for a few minutes. I had to go put the kiddos to bed or get them ready for bed. Obviously, it was a split second for you, but it was several minutes for me. And while I was away, I swapped out a few champions. So Demitha before, I guess, now is Tormund because the second wave has Earl Grim. which we need to control. So Tormund plus Artak is a pretty cool combo. But honestly, I'm thinking now, when I was away, I was thinking, you know, let's just drop Tyrell, and throw in Bellower instead. We're gonna go full force and just getting through the waves, get to the dragon, and then kill the dragon. The dragon's gonna be the issue to get to. The dragon itself, not really gonna be much of an issue. Now, all these champions are built except for the Tormund. I actually forgot he even had Tormund, but even more so than that, I didn't realize that he's actually fully booked, except for one book on the A1. So we're gonna go build him real quick, throw him into the content. It's not gonna be the best build because unfortunately we don't have much silver, so we really have to work with what we have here, but I'm gonna try to make some magic happen. So we're gonna go to a pair of boots. They're not 16 yet, unfortunately. And then we're going to try to get as much speed as humanly possible from the pieces we have while also getting some good accuracy. It is quite a bit we're asking, but I think it can be not done. I don't think it can be done. Possibly, maybe, doubtful. But Tormund does a lot from his passive alone, so maybe we can make something work from there. Equipped, maybe we have something good equipped on somebody. Really good speed somewhere, priority stat speed. That's really what we need. Just taking some turns is going to be incredible. Cornelia, accuracy, maybe used for Bommel. Not going to be anytime soon. So we'll borrow that temporarily. While we're at it, maybe we could borrow some good pieces over here as well. Cornelia's main role, I guess, is Bommel for a lot of players. Speaking of, she is over there. Maybe we just take 2 pieces from Cornelia. Borrow 2. We'll send them back another time. Be perfectly fine. This is going to be excellent for progressing as a count for sure. We need 36,000 silver. You know what? I mentioned before the 4-star gear is not needed. We have 4-star gear. Let's go ahead and get rid of some of this 4-star gear. There we go. Don't even worry about the substats. We should probably just sell all of it. But for now, this is what we're going to do. He has no masteries. He has some accuracy. We probably need a little bit more accuracy than that. Frozen Banshee will be in the lead spot though. So we will have a little bit extra accuracy from her. This is not necessarily enough, but we are going to need more. But for the waves, I think we're going to be okay. For the dragon itself, we would not be. But for the waves, we should be fine. The dragon's going to require more. The waves shouldn't really require a ton. And Tormund's debuffs, I don't really care about being placed on the waves. Or the dragon itself. There we go, provoke on everybody. That is beautiful to see. Matter of fact, I need to set that to actually open on wave 2. But maybe it's going to be fine. I don't want to waste his energy. So let's leave it as it is. Tormund's going to die. Like, I don't really care if he dies, to be honest. Perfectly fine. Because we have Pythion to pick him back up. There we go, he's dead. And guess what? He's come back to life because he has a passive where he's not going to die the first time, and he'll die the second time. But his passive is also going to be freezing the enemies whenever they place debuffs, whenever they get turn meter boosted. All the time, he's going to be freezing them. And then he's going to prevent his death once anyway. So he's dead again. Not a huge deal. Because what he's here for is just a little bit of wave control. So not really that worried about him dying. Cardinal picking up one person. And then Artak, he's going to be our main source of damage. Pythion's going to pick up Tormund here soon. Everybody's dropping. Perfectly fine. Artak's probably going to drop them all. Pythion picks them up. This is actually perfect timing. I don't think the run's going to be inconsistent. This was a pretty good time to actually res. But in general, the run should be fine because Pythion shouldn't really die really ever, to be honest. Like, it's going to be very rare that he actually just dies because of how tanky he is and how really, I guess, not threatening the enemy is. He's pretty fast. A lot of sustainability. A lot of great stuff in general Pythion brings. Tormund should get the provoke off here. There we go, provoke. We have one continuous heal up, 15% heal, which is actually pretty significant. However, we may be able to start placing some freezes. The burns plus the freeze have some pretty cool interactions with Tormund. I think he like counterattacks or something if he has that. I don't have Tormund, unfortunately, so I don't know all the details. But I do know it's pretty annoying. Got some freezes going out, excellent. On Earlgrim, which is actually the best champion for us to freeze because he's going to be kind of annoying. There we go. Tormund's back up again. 2 minutes. Maybe we can clear this wave. That's the biggest thing, is actually clearing the wave. That's really all I care about, is actually clearing this wave so then we can move on maybe to the next stage at this point. Maybe I just skip past this though because it's going to take a little bit too long for this video. All right, we're coming up on the end of this run and you can see Tormund starting to counterattack whenever I guess somebody with HP burn or freeze gets turn. I guess the HP burn activates on a champion who has freeze. On any read, he's passive again, but he's popping off with his stuff. Like, this wave is controlled, the wave is locked down, they're not doing anything. At this point, this is where the run is very nice. So if the Torment gets even taken to 60 pretty soon, since he's already booked, we have Stagnite already booked, Torment already invested into. Torment's going to be excellent for the arena, still has a few areas that he's going to be very beneficial in. He's definitely a champion who's worth taking to 6-star. I didn't actually realize he was fully booked, or basically fully booked. So a champion who I would definitely prioritize. I mean, if you already have a legendary champion, especially that you've invested books into, especially as good as Torment, definitely consider taking him to 6-star. It's going to give him a lot of extra stats, make him easier to hit the stat requirements for. And now let's see how we actually do against the dragon itself. Hopefully fine. I don't expect for it to be a massive issue. I guess we're going to find out in just a few seconds. Decreased attack was missed, so the dragon does have the decreased attack. Python has no cleanse up yet, unfortunately. There we go, the cleanse. Excellent, excellent, excellent. The dragon has increased attack, no decreased attack, and yeah, probably about to mess me up. Okay, there we go. Got messed up, for sure. However, we got the res from Python, so no big deal. No problemo. Now, continue to get dropped a little bit. Frozen Banshee with some A1 abilities, placing 2 poisons, which is super, super helpful. If the dragon drops us again, guess what? Python just reses us all. Torment with not too much on the dragon. That's going to be super beneficial, honestly. We have a small decreased attack from Bellower. Doesn't get placed, unfortunately. Python finishes out the fight in 5 minutes. Out of curiosity, could we do this stage? Stage 3? Stage 3 hard? Let's see, guys. So this is going to be an okay stage. Frozen Banshee's neutral. So first wave's looking decent. First wave has no cleansers, no healers, no res champions even. So first, actually, is that a Spirit Host? No, it's a Kale, a Dark Kale, just burning. Look kind of like a Spirit Host. But I have a little bit of nightmares from Spirit Host, not going to lie. Not a huge fan of Spirit Hosts. That said, if this is what the second wave looks like, which I really hope it is, I kind of doubt it is though, that would be amazing. Because we'd actually be able to farm stage 3 consistently. Possibly, assuming we can place our debuffs and everything. Python's going to be holding his own. He's going to have to be the one holding this all together. We could always drop Bellower and replacing him with Demitha. Definitely a possibility. Because the Dark Kales are getting turns. Not great. If we had Demitha in here, Torment would have a little bit more protection while he's 5-star. Might be okay, though. Because once Torment get the people under control, it's all going to be fine. Once he gets higher level as well, he's not going to die. Torment's a much harder champion to kill than Frozen Banshee, and he's dying before anybody else. A minute to clear the first wave. This is the time to see what does the second wave hold. Okay. Frozen Banshees, Kale, Dark Kale. Here we go, guys. Stage 3 hard. This is where we're going to be farming. This is where we're going to be farming pretty consistently as well. So sometimes it just takes, not getting the super annoying stages of a dungeon. And then you're going to be fine. Getting Artak fully booked means super consistent decrease attack on the dragon, super consistent burns for the waves, and then getting the Torment to a point where he's able to survive is going to be excellent as well. He's not doing a ton for the waves right now. A little bit of a provoke every now and then. The freeze when it comes off, it's excellent. But right now, he's kind of just wasting Python's res is really what it seems like he's doing. Artak clearing the waves. This is going to be good. This is going to be under 3 minutes, I hope. As long as Frozen Banshee is actually able to stay alive on the dragon. We may have to switch Tyrell in for Bellower, honestly, because if Tyrell will place the decreased attack a little bit more consistently on the dragon. But let's see how this plays out. It may actually do okay. We got the poison sensitivity, which is 100% needed. Got HP burn. Excellent. We're not dead. Having him block debuffs would be cool, but Torment's requirements for that are not going to be hit. He can't. There we go. Decreased attack. Very nice. When he's fully booked, it'll be very consistent decreased attack as well. So, no breath. Awesome. Frozen Banshee's poisons on the dragon is just so good, guys. It is so good. But either way, this is something to move on from. Like, this team is going to work. It's going to work very consistent, especially when the books get done, when Torment gets taken to 6-star, is able to survive, gets his gear, fleshed out a little bit better. It's going to work out very, very good. And these are champions that he's already using, basically. We could throw in a Demitha, possibly throw in a Tyrell to tweak it and tune it a little bit better. But this just now went from stage 20, not even that much faster than this, I don't think, to now doing stage 3 hard mode, which is significantly better than even stage 25. Now, this may not be 100% consistent. So right now, Python's by himself, and it looks a little bit weird. So definitely, take Tormund, get him possibly to 6-star, get him actually good gear, because right now he's not really in the greatest gear, and then get Artak fully booked, and this team becomes consistent. Possibly swap out Bello for somebody else, and boom, you got a very consistent, very relatively fast stage 3 hard mode team for Dragon. Not that much slower than your stage 20 team, honestly. So stage 3, let's go Dragon hard 3. There we go. Excellent, excellent, excellent. So, all right, so at the beginning of this, I set out with a goal of doing Dragon and Spider. Dragon took way longer than I expected to take. And like I said, I don't typically do this for account reviews, but I want to do stage 25 for him. I know he's already doing it. It's on a minute 37 farm, but I think I can make it significantly faster. Definitely something to work towards. I'm not going to do hard mode because right now hard mode may be a little too difficult, but with CVC coming up tomorrow, he has 13,000 energy. I really want him to be in a position where he can farm Spider and do it consistently. So this team right here is okay. We're going to drop Kyoku, throw in Artak. All right, so this is the team that I landed on. We have Mordecai, open A3, and 1 there. We have Coldheart just using her A3 because if Geomancer misses his turn meter decrease, we want Coldheart to have it. Pythion like this, and then Artak like this. We're definitely going to make sure he's placing HP burn whenever possible. Matter of fact, I'm actually going to turn that off of number 1 priority and make this the burn number 1 priority, because if he gets rezzed, I want to make sure he's keeping the burns up. This should be a very consistent, very smooth team that also runs pretty fast. Some runs are going to be 30 seconds, 35 seconds possibly, and some runs are going to be a little bit longer, closer to a minute, depending on how the HP burn actually lands. But for whatever reason, Geomancer just did an HP burn on a little Spiderling instead of doing it on the big Spider. Not really sure what he was thinking, but whatever he was thinking was the wrong way of thinking. I actually have no clue at all why he did that. That was super weird. Maybe that Spider missed HP burn on him, so Geomancer's like, yeah, let's go ahead and throw an HP burn on that Spiderling. That little Spiderling over there who didn't matter whatsoever, that's the one we're going to throw an HP burn onto. Actually terrible. I have no clue what went through his little dwarf head. Apparently nothing. But I've never seen such thing happen. All right, I didn't know he targeted anybody other than the big Spider, but I guess it's because it didn't have HP burn on it. Nonetheless, this is actually a pretty decent example that it should still work perfectly fine. If Artak can get around to another HP burn activation, it's gonna be fantastic. If not a huge deal, because Mordecai should be able to do something. However, he's dead now. So Geomancer, let's actually use your A3 ability on the correct target. Okay, I guess it's going to the big Spider. No, it's not. Just HP burn. It's going to kill everything, hopefully, here. The last one. So it's going to be a minute and 20 seconds. All right, guys. So that's going to go ahead and wrap it up for this account review. This team is not going to be 100% consistent until we get Artak fully booked, placing his HP burn on everything, and we get Geomancer fully booked as well. Originally, I said the next 60, possibly very viable option, being Stagnite. However, now I'm thinking that the next 60, very solid option, is Tormund. Tormund can be a pretty solid damage dealer. He's great for the arena. He's going to be great for a lot of dungeon content. And since you're lacking the gear to do a ton of damage, and Tormund seems like a pretty solid option for you, especially with pairing with Artak, because his passive, if they have freeze and HP burn, I believe he has an extra chance to, there we go, instantly activates his skill whenever an enemy under freeze and HP burn take a turn. So Artak plus Tormund is going to be a pretty awesome, just overall control, very solid 6-star champion, get War Master on him. So very solid option. We have a lot of very solid potential options. We have Roshkard, excellent for clan boss. Tormund, excellent for dungeons. Stagnite, excellent for dungeons. Sishia is going to be very good. We can definitely get her working in some stuff as well. This can definitely be adjusted for a much faster team in the very near future. But currently, I think we're going to have to work on some other things before we can start focusing a ton on that part of the game. However, one last thing. Actually, you know what? No more last thing. So guys, I hope you all enjoyed this. Hopefully you've learned something from it. I know it ended up being a lot longer than I originally expected. With that said, if you're interested in having an account review, an account takeover, any kind done, click the link down below, get signed up, message me on Discord, and we'll get you situated. So guys, hope you have a great rest of your day, rest of your weekend, whatever it is, wherever you're at, and I'll catch you in the next one.